Be sure to stick around until the end. There'll be a question and answer for all the candidates, so make sure you stick around for that if you have any questions for any of these particular candidates. The format will be a little bit different for the executive. Whereas before, you'll have a minute and a half to make your opening remarks, 3 minutes for a rebuttal, and then another minute and a half for. Okay, actually, we're going to go 2-4-2. We've got some extra time, so 2 minutes, 4 minutes, and 2. And if you want to briefly introduce yourselves.
Okay, I'm Casey Pica. I am a senior here, or first year senior. I'm highly involved in campus as well as on the committees that this position deals with.
Hi everybody, I'm Marcus Hammond. I'm currently a junior going into my senior year. Accounting and finance major. First year actually on campus at Eastern, so pretty much sums me up.
Yeah, you just got here. So the format for this is going to be 2 minutes for a question with 4-minute reply from your opponent, and then 2 minutes for concluding remarks. We're going to do that twice, and then at the end, each candidate will have 2 minutes to summarize their positions and why they think the student should go for it. First question to the candidate on the left. This issue has been addressed by several ASCWU council and executives, yet the pub has still not yet been remodeled. What's your stance on this matter?
First of all, I think...
Sorry, wrong question. Just kidding. What are your thoughts on the readership program? Do you feel the students should foot the bill, and why?
I believe, well, first of all, the last 2 years I've been on the committees and we've dealt with this issue. It was about $30,000 a year 2 years ago to fund the readership, which included Spokesman Review, New York Times, as well as some other publications on campus. And last year we cut it down to about $10,000 and moved all the papers which were up here in the pub available to anyone down to the Eagle Shop. And the reason we moved it down there was because a lot of staff and faculty were taking papers that the students paid for. And I believe that even though most students don't take the papers, there are some that still do. And if we could maybe fund that a little bit less and maybe concentrate on those students who are actually reading the paper and get the word out to them and get the word out to more students who might want to obtain those papers, it would be available for them. So.
4 minutes for rebuttal.
All right, so like my friend here said, I do feel it's really important that we focus all the support towards helping students get these papers, because like you said, the students are the ones funding it. As what your question was, how I feel towards the readership, should we continue funding this? I feel yes. I think it's very important to have accessibility and the opportunity for students to feel connected with the real world, the situations going on in the world. And I feel that the readership gives a variety of articles, journals that gives them the chance to look into situations, be informed, and make informed opinions and choices about what's going on around them in the real world. But like I said, we need to really focus, because the students are the ones paying for these, it needs to be only student accessible. Staff, professors, stuff like that, they should not have access to them or to these papers because they are not the ones funding them.
2 minutes for reply.
So personally, I've taken advantage of the readership program. I have read the New York Times and Spokesman Review religiously for the last 3 quarters now, and I feel that the students should be able to have their input on this, not just the Service and Activity Fee Committee, which deals with this this item, and see how many students would actually want papers and want to know where they are again. Because I know we didn't publicize it very much. We should probably put another sign up saying they're available down at the Eagle Mart, and just get more students involved, get more student opinion on this, as well as just more student opinion, and see if we should continue it. I think we should, because the East Coast and West Coast are completely different, and the New York Times gives us a huge variety of national news, international news, business day, the arts. They have special issues on like Russia, Iraq, and other things. And I believe that through that we can kind of view the world as a whole and bring more diverse people as well as ideas out into the school.
Next question is for you. Funding requests will be submitted by various student organizations and campus organizations throughout the year. How would you prioritize the ASCWU's very limited funds?
Well, I think the first thing you need to ask when you're looking at requests for funding, how are these going to help the students, and what are these going to do to directly benefit the students? That should be because it's SNA money, that should be the first priority when looking at any. So, for instance, if we were to have multiple requests that have legitimate reasoning behind them, there's really no way to look at which one should be first, except for first come, first served basis. But the overall picture and the overall role or goal that we're supposed to be moving towards is how can we help the student experience on campus, how can we use the SNA money to help students succeed in their goals on campus and which are transferred in the real world. So as long as all the requests are formatted and have legitimate backing for them, then they're valid applicants.
4 minutes for rebuttal.
First to start off, I've been on the committees for 2 years. I've seen them transfer from a very, very hectic committee 2 years ago to something very streamlined, which I applaud Caleb for. The prioritization, I think we should appeal to a lot of demographics and look at the clubs and orgs and various activities on campus that are growing fastest growing, and maybe push a little bit more funding their way and see where most of the students are participating, whether it's at athletics, going to theater programs, going to Eagle Entertainment, clubs and orgs events, as well as finding out the clubs and using the requests that come to us and finding the largest groups that those benefit and funding those events first, or have more emphasis on those events, as well as yeah, that's all I have.
2 minutes for concluding remarks.
Okay, well, I just want to touch briefly on what he said. I do want to say the current year staff has done an amazing job of organizing the structure of how these requests are submitted. So what I'm really looking forward to next year is the ability to take all the requests. We don't have to worry about structuring and filtering. That system's already set in place. We can focus on the funding. And to touch briefly on what he said, yes, it is important to help programs that are already functioning and operating at a high level and getting a lot of students, but it's also really important to look at programs that are just starting, because every program starts small. Just because it's not helping a large base of students right now doesn't mean it can't help them down the road. It's really important to look at the future, not just what's happening now. How could this program help the student body in the future? And that's pretty much.
All right, and then each candidate will have 2 minutes to make closing remarks, why students should vote for them, what their platform is. So starting with the candidate on the left.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you for everyone who voted, and this is my senior year here. I've spent a lot of time getting to know a lot of the administration, a lot of the staff, as well as a lot of students. I'm highly involved in campus. I absolutely love the students here. I came here originally for a completely different degree than a double major in economics and finance. So I've gotten to see a lot of the biology people, see how they participate in campus, get their voice heard, as well as various clubs on campus, Easterner, EA, theater, a ton of clubs. I just want to represent the students as they want and use your money, your issues, and use them right now.
2 minutes for closing remarks.
Well, I do not have as impressive current resume as my friend here does, but I will say this. This is my first year here on campus, and I've never been so impacted in a good way. This is my first experience with a large university, and I've been very proud of the way it's like a tight-knit community, and I really feel a part of that community. So in regards to feeling connected with students, I do feel like I have a very valid way of representing. I can hear the requests as they come in, but not on a forum, but from friends. I feel that I'll be able to take what the community or the student community needs, and I'll be able to express what their voice on a larger scale. As for the experience goes, I do not have current experience as sitting on committees right now, but my one track record does show that whatever I engage in, I pick up very quickly. I can see what needs to be done, and I can take care of that in the most efficient way possible. So I'm really looking forward to the chance to serve you guys, serve Eastern Washington, and thank you for that. And thank you for all those who did vote in the primaries and come out and vote in the general.
Hey, Marcus.
Let's give a round of applause for our candidates for president. Next up, can we please have the candidates for executive vice president?